Hey, Brown Girl Banter.
I'm your girl, Dr. Dangerfield.
And I am Dr. Patience.
Hey, what we got today?
Hey, we are so excited. Today we have with us Keasha Bowlin.
Hello.
We are excited to have Keasha because, as you know, we talk so much. I feel like every season about hair.
Mm-hmm.
Like it comes up in all of our conversations, in all of our, episodes. Some point about hair is a big deal in every season. So we were like, well, we probably should bring in somebody who specializes in that, who can talk to us, not just from being a stylist, but also an entrepreneur, an author. We have her book with us today. And so we're going to let her talk a little bit about herself. Keasha, tell people a little bit about you.
Okay. My name is Keasha, kbstylz online. I'm 38. I have 2 sons, 17 and about to be 14. Yes. I've been married for it'll be 17 years this year. I am an entrepreneur. I've been a professional cosmetologist now for about 15 years and beyond, because it's one of those things everyone's like, how long have you been doing this with your hair? And it's like all my life. So I'll just say professionally 15 years. I do have a shop that I work out of in Franklin, Tennessee. And
That's you. Good. We're so excited to have you with us today. So I think one of the biggest things we wanted to talk about is your why. I think what made you decide, I love hair, I love cosmetology, I want to do it professionally,
and why you want to empower women through that?
I would say since I was younger, like I said, I've been doing hair forever. I used to do my cousin's hair, my mom's hair before they went out. I write about that in my book.
Yes, you do. You do. The story about your aunt and that one curl.
Yes. She laughs at me all the time for that, and she's so embarrassed that I wrote about it in my book. But yeah, so it just kind of came naturally. I think when I was coming out of high school, I tried to think about all the other career paths I wanted to take, or thought that I should take, like I'm supposed to take. Because it seemed like doing hair or something like that just wasn't enough. Nobody ever says like, oh, go do hair. They're like, oh, be a doctor.
And you do hair on the side.
Do hair on the side. So I did a couple like odd jobs coming out of high school, and I got pregnant at 20 and got married at 21. But somewhere in between there, I think a light bulb just went off after doing hair on the side. And that's really the only thing that was making me like really happy. That really came natural. And I was just like, you know what? I'm going to hair school. And I'm just about to like do it for real. And so I took that leap. Well, actually, I cried to my husband. I said, please don't make me go back to that job. I just want to go to school. And he was like, yeah, just go. And so anyway, I decided to do that. And it just took off from there. I already had clients, people that trusted me. And I just built from there.
And you're speaking Dr. Dangerfield's language when you said it was the one thing that was making you happy. She believes wholeheartedly in that passion and purpose thing, and to walk authentically in that. And so even you tell somebody that even in this book, in one of your stories. And so y'all gotta really read this book. It is so good.
It's not your usual book.
It's not.
It has like, she shares stories. So why did you decide to write the book?
I think I got to a certain level in my career where I had heard so many stories, and like daily I can take in about a lifetime of stories that women tell me. And so I don't know, I just came up with this idea. I was like, I think it would be really cool to put them all together, share some I don't know, some of the things we go through as Black women, and we share together while we're in the shop, because a lot of the times I think, I don't know, maybe women just feel like they don't have anyone to relate to, but then when you get into the shop, everyone's the same kind of. We got the same problems, and I was just like, I'm just gonna try to write a book. I'm just gonna try to put it all together, and that was the hardest thing for me to do. Like I said, my kids were kind of little when I got that bright idea, and I'm not like an author that does this all the time, so it was a bright idea, but I had no idea what I was doing. So I just started to like journal a lot of the stories I could remember. I got a lot of permission from a lot of my clients because I do change a lot of the stories a little bit, the names, and just put a little twist on them just so they don't read it and they're like, oh, you know what? This is me.
That's fair.
And so,
that's very fair. Yeah.
You know, so a lot of the stories that are in there, I did talk to a lot of those people, and just to let them know that, you know, I would kind of put a twist on this and put that in there. But I just journaled, and eventually I had enough stories to where I could put it all together and create the book. I also wanted to share some salon etiquette.
Yeah. Okay. I like how you put those tips.
Yeah.
I was like, some good tips.
I was like, you know, people don't know how to act.
Right.
And so let me just say, you know, what I think I could share, you know, just to kind of give some insight. But yeah, that was the big idea. I just wanted to, I don't know, maybe just somebody that could read one of those stories could say, hey, you know, I could relate to this. So I think that was the idea.
And I think that through your stories, people can see themselves. There's something in there for everyone, I believe.
Yeah.
I mean, one of the stories about, I was just talking to Dr. Dangerfield about a woman who wanted to go natural. And she was having a hard time because she was worried about her professional self and just kind of what the experience would be for her. So how do you believe you play a part in helping women, you know, feel empowered, feel courageous
to do that,
to take that leap? I mean, with any hairstyle or any look that they're going for.
Yeah. I don't know, I think, I mean, your hair is your hair, you know, so I think as long as you just put a little TLC into it, I just don't see why it can't be a professional look or something that you could wear anywhere you want to go. I know we don't always know how to do our hair ourselves.
Okay. Yeah.
So I try to, even when I'm, you know, when somebody wants to make a big transition like that, I try to give them as many tips as I can so that they can like keep it going when they can't afford to come to me or can't come see me all the time. And I don't know, it's just like, it's yours. I think we should try to find the beauty and the pride in it, and we should be able to go wherever we want with it, you know. So
yeah, I like that.
I do too. It's so interesting because hair for Black women, I mean, it is our crown, right?
Yes.
I mean, it just
That's why
is.
we have a whole act out there.
A whole
that has to be passed into law
Yeah.
about how we wear our hair. That's just.
I think that's ridiculous.
It is.
I do think it's ridiculous.
I agree.
I even went through that with my oldest son. They both were in private school pretty much all their school career, but by the time my oldest son got to be about in the 4th grade, we started his locks when he was 7, and so by the time he got to be in the 4th grade, they were really long. And in the private, it was a Christian private school.
They have rules.
And they have rules, and they started to say, "Oh, they're getting too long." And at first, they told us to flat out just cut them off.
Oh wow!
And my husband was furious.
Which
he should be.
So we had this big meeting, and I don't know, we came to a compromise where it was like, okay, he doesn't have to cut them off, but he has to wear them up while he's in school. And so my son didn't like that, my husband didn't like that, but I felt that if we were the ones that wanted to keep him in this school, so I just felt like that was a compromise. At least they did try to meet us in the middle. So I kind of pushed for us to kind of just go with that, and I started to style his hair up, but my son hated it. He hated that look. I think a couple of his friends said he looked like the cafeteria lady.
Oh, like with the
and that really did it. He was like, no, I'm not doing this, you know. So then I was like, okay, no. So then he actually came to me one day and was like, Mama, just cut it off. And it was the saddest day. We all cried, and it was just so sad. But anyway, I do think it's ridiculous. It's like, you know, what? It's his hair. I hate that we had to go through that. I hate that we have to put a law into effect.
Yeah.
So people can just be. But I do think it's crazy.
It is.
So we can. I mean, I think that's the biggest thing. So we can just be.
Yeah. Just so we can be.
So we can show up in a space
who we are authentically without having to say, "Oh, I have to do this to compromise or to just fold into culture."
Yes.
Yeah.
Which is, our hair is a part of our identity.
Yes.
It's a part of who we are. And so when you start to deny me because of that, you are taking away a piece
of who I am.
Which is
your
probably
identity.
the grief you all were going through when you were crying. It's like we have to shed some of who you are so other people feel comfortable.
But is it, like, what was his hair doing to them?
Nothing. I always kept his hair so neat. He had the neatest hair
doing to them?
It's not like I didn't retwist his, which I don't even think we should be pressured to be retwisting our new growth every 2 seconds. But I'm a hairstylist, so I kept his hair very neat. It was a big deal.
Yeah, because which they go for the same rules of, like, because I think part of the rule is it can't be like below their shoulders. Yeah,
that's what it is. And it got, by the time he was in the 4th grade, it was probably the middle of his back.
But what did they have to do? Like, whether your hair is at your shoulders or down your back.
Exactly.
I think they said it was a distraction.
Distracting who? Somebody can keep their hands to themselves, because that goes back to that. Oh, let me touch your hair.
Let me
see. What?
Very true.
I think it was really traumatizing for my son. I think we all kind of got over it by now, but it was a big deal. It really was.
Because I have a little cousin. He is 5, and he had never had a haircut. And so when he was he's kindergarten now. One of the little boys in class, because his mom always kept his hair braided. And one of the little boys in class told him he had a girl hairstyle because he had braids. And at first, he was like, "Oh, I'm not a girl, don't be saying that." But I think it started playing with him that one day he came home and he told his mom, he said, "I'm ready to get her hair cut." And his mom's like, "Are you sure?"
Yeah.
He's like, "Yeah, I want a mohawk." And so he ended up getting his hair, but we think it was because of the pressure in school of people saying things.
I'm sure it was.
And I'm like, this was your oldest?
That was my oldest.
And we're still seeing.
We're still fighting.
This is 17 now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we're still, a decade later, we're like still seeing
that same story. Yeah. Because it's what the story we were talking about out of Texas, where the young man, he's 16.
Oh, yeah.
And his mom is fighting.
Yeah, and they're not letting up on him.
They are not. No one is, she's not giving in, and they're not giving in.
They're like,
so he cannot go to regular classes because.
That is so crazy.
It is. And so when you are working with women, or in general, but women, and you're in there and you're having to hold space for them, because that's what we call it in our therapeutic spaces, like we're holding space for you. How do you not, or maybe you do, so let me not put words in your mouth, how do you ensure that you're okay by the end of the day? Because that's, for us, it's a lot.
How do you take
and we have training to be able to know what to do, or how to engage or deal with them in whatever space they're in. You're like, hey, I'm just here to make you look beautiful. I want to encourage you,
but you poured into them.
And so they are pouring out, girl, all the details, all of the information, which I don't know what is so comforting about that space. We have to talk about that too. That makes people feel like they just have to.
They feel like it is a safe space.
Yes. So how do you make sure you're okay at the end of all of that?
You know what? I think most days I can relate to a lot of the things that I'm being told. And so I think a lot of times it just makes me reflect on myself. And then I have to kind of like look at myself a lot. But there are a lot of days where I'm not okay.
Wow.
Okay.
Sometimes it gets so deep.
Wow.
I'm not kidding. Like, I went home crying. I went home and just trauma dumped on my husband a lot. I'm like, you're gonna hear this.
Somebody said
Because you have to release. I need to release it, so I want you to hold that. Hold that container for me.
I do that to him a lot. I even think maybe that's why I wrote that book. I mean, I don't know. It was just, it was a lot. It is a lot sometimes, but a lot I think I can relate to. So, every day I'm not breaking down, but sometimes it is too much.
Wow. That's a lot.
Yeah. Hearing stories.
Yes. It depends on how many hits you do a day. Like,
Yeah.
If each person came in telling a story, like.
Yeah. Like sometimes they come in and they seem to be fine, but because of what I do, I pick up on their energy. It's like I have to touch them. I have to be in their personal space. So just like on a normal basis, when you come into contact with people, they can maybe like hide what they're going through for the day. They can pretend or whatever, but with me, they really can't, even if they try. I'm like, oh, are you having a sad day?
Oh, wow.
What's going on? You know, and then I have to just, I don't know, I just try to, I don't push for them to try to like give me everything if it doesn't just come out and they just want to give it. But I do try to I don't know, give them some release, let them know that if they want to get whatever they want to get out, they can get it out, and then hopefully by the end of it they just feel a little better. Because like I said, sometimes they'll try to keep it in, and by the time I'm done washing their hair, they're like boo-hoo.
Because by the time you start massaging,
they're like crying.
They're like, ooh, they release.
Yeah, so I don't know. I try to make them feel safe. I try to take in as much as I can. A thing that I did learn when I was in hair school, I had this really good teacher, and she taught us that no matter what kind of story we hear, it's like I can't act surprised.
It's kind of our training.
Right.
We were looking at each other like, okay.
That's familiar. Very familiar.
It's like I have felt all of that, Dr. Day. We're like, yes, we
can't
it's
act
like,
surprised.
I gotta act like I've heard everything. And I think that helps them to feel safe, but a lot of times I am so shocked, and I just have to be like, oh yeah, that's normal. Like,
yep. We know that feeling well.
You're like, okay,
yeah. Like, all right, you know. I don't know, you know, try to talk them through it, pray with them if they want it, give them a hug. But like I said, I'm in such a close proximity to their energy and body. I don't think they can hide it well. So
that's something. I mean, I didn't think about the touching and the long, like if you're in there, if you're getting the works, you're in that space with you for an extended amount of time. And so how long can I hold it together?
Yeah, by the end it's out.
It's like,
it's out.
So how is it for you at the end when that person maybe, because your job wasn't to, you know, fix their problem, but it was to make them, after they
feel better.
Yes.
Yeah.
So how are you when they get up from that chair, or they turn around and look in the mirror and they
light up?
I mean, you talk about it in your book. I mean, how is that for you?
That just, I don't know, that makes it all worth it. You know, like I really do like to make them feel beautiful. I like them to see what I think I can see out of a lot of people. And I know I don't want to cry right now.
Okay, it's okay. Who knew you felt this in your belly like this?
Because like I've even had patients who've come out of like cancer treatments. And it can get so deep.
Wow.
Tell me you have tissue.
I'm gonna get some. We have to put Riley to work, y'all. We're making Riley work today. Yeah. Riley, y'all trying not to get in that camera. He's staying all the way back there. Thank you, Riley.
But yeah, so that's all. I mean, I think it does make it worth it. I just want them to feel good, you know, by the end of it. We are women, and we go through so much. And so, if just getting your hair done makes you have a good day, out of all the things, I think it's worth it, you know?
Yes. See, this the kind of stylist you want.
Right. Not the one just go and grab just want your money. You want somebody that feels you.
Who feels you, who is in that thing with you, who wants what's best for you. Come on now, Keasha. That's what I'm talking about.
That's
No,
true.
yeah.
Yes.
I think it just comes with the territory, you know.
Yes.
I've been doing it for so long to meet so many different kind of women, and it's no telling where I come in on their journey.
Right.
You know, maybe done just had a baby and they don't feel normal. Coming out of cancer treatments, any kind of sickness, maybe they're taking care of their parents. It's just be a lot
Across the lifespan.
Yes.
Every woman's journey.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think it is amazing what you do. I think it is amazing how you talk about it in your book.
Yes.
You want to tell us a little bit about your book?
Well, that book is a compilation of stories, and I have some chapters called like Salon Chronicles, and it may go over a story or two. Then I may share some of my experience, but yeah, that's all it is. It's just a compilation of women's stories, different parts of their journeys, how we do treat the shop as like therapy, you know, for whatever reason. Like I said, I mean, maybe you just don't have somebody to connect with, but when you come in there, there's women that can do, I mean, a lot of my clients, they'll just start talking to each other and they can relate to each other. Maybe they came from the same city, and just, I mean, I think it's just a connection that they feel in the shop. And so I just try to put that in that book.
Awesome. Well, it's called Beauty is Therapy. How poetic is that? Because that's accurate. And so I just appreciate you coming and being able to tell us about why you chose to go into cosmetology. You know, I'm grateful for you doing it.
Listen, I'm glad you accepted your call and assignment.
Exactly. And I'm so glad that you got to share it with our viewers, because I think we talk about hair so much and the impact it has on us. And so to really, I think everybody's gonna go talk to their stylist and be like, so why do you do hair? You bet to mean it.
Right. What's the truth behind all of that?
Yes.
For sure.
I mean, and you just wear so many hats, right? You're a mother, you're a wife, you're an entrepreneur. You're like, I mean, there's so many things that you do. So,
Yeah.
wear it well, girl.
Thanks.
You're welcome. So, tell us, or tell them, if you like, how they can find you.
Let's see. I am on Instagram, Facebook.
You are?
I'll just keep it there.
Okay.
But yeah, and so my handle is kbstylz. That's kbstylz. More of my work is on Instagram, but you can find me on Instagram or Facebook. Yeah.
Great. Do you have a website?
I do have a website. It's called latrellbbeauty.com. That is my middle name. As you can see on the book, it says Keasha L. Bowlin. It's like, yeah, just know my whole name. But yeah, that's where I sell a lot of products. You can get my book link on that site. And you can book me on that site. Yeah.
One-stop shop right there.
Yeah, for sure.
Sounds good. Well, thank you so much, Keasha.
Thank you,
we are so
guys.
glad that you came on today.
Thank you.
And if you, which we hope by now, but if you might be a new viewer, so we're going to tell you how you can find us as well. Dr. Dangerfield, how can they find you?
They can find me on Instagram at I am Dr. Dangerfield.
They can find me at I am Dr. Patience, and you can find us on Instagram where, Dr. Dangerfield?
At I Am Brown Girl Banter.
Awesome.
And on YouTube.
You go, girl.
See,
She got it right this time, y'all.
Brown Girl, one word, space, banter.
Yes.
And please, if you have not, which you should have by now, you have not, like, share, subscribe, so that you will be in the know, because we drop the information. You may be 2-3 weeks behind, but if you subscribe, you get that notification that it's about to come out.
Exactly, that's it. And please be sure to add any comments that you have for us in the comment section, and we'll try to get back to you as soon as possible. Sound good?
That's it.
All right, y'all take care. Bye, Brown Girl Banter.
Brown Girl Banter.